Welcome back once again to the Morning, Noon, and Night Show. As promised, Jimmy Nadell from Conundrum Catering is joining us this morning, and we are preparing Colorado lamb. Let's talk a little bit first about the selection of meat that you have here.
Well, I'm a strong believer that Colorado is producing the finest lamb in the world today. And our farms here in Colorado are producing about just under about 1 million sheep a year. So it's kind of good for us with our winters here. We have lots of wool for the winter, and we have lots of meat to for the dinner table.
Is there a reason that Colorado is producing the best lamb in the world?
Well, I think it has to do a little bit with the altitude and the climate. You know, it's very conducive for raising sheep here.
Huh. Right.
So our sheep get larger, quicker, and they're a lot meatier than our competitors that are raising lambs in New Zealand and Australia.
And we were talking just a minute ago, the first thing we want to touch on is selecting your cut and having your butcher prepare it the way that you've prepared it for us today.
Well, the sheep are, they're about a year old when they go to market, and they weigh somewhere between 65 and 75 pounds. So by all means, they're not large animals as compared to, you know, hogs or beef. So we have our prime cuts, and the best cut here that we use is the rack lamb here, and it's most popular in most of our restaurants. You go to Iowa, you're eating pork. You go to Texas, you're eating beef. You come up here in the mountains, we eat lamb. This is a local product for us here, and we're very proud of it.
And we're going to be grilling it today and preparing a marinade for the preparation of our lamb.
Right, and what I'm going to prepare here is a pomegranate marinade, which pomegranate has enough acidity to help tenderize the lamb a little bit, but also enough sugar in it to take a little bit of the grassiness, gaminess out of it, which can be characteristic with larger lambs. Because when lambs get to a certain age, they turn into mutton. Chicken turns into capon, you know, and so on. So you want younger lambs, so the meat is a little more mild in flavor.
Well, let's get to it. Let's make the marinade. We're actually going to start preparing this, and then we're going to come back with you a little bit later. So let's get to the marinade.
Well, let me chop up the lamb here first, so we got something to marinate. This is a Colorado rack of lamb. You can buy these at the butcher block, the Epicurious, and what I had done was I took the fat off the top and then removed the silver skin off. So this makes it a little bit more tender and a little bit more leaner. And then what I like to do is remove every other bone like this. It's not that easy. You have to actually do it with a knife.
You've done something to this before.
Yeah.
Now,
so,
just to pull those out.
So yes,
of course.
We take those bones out. Now what we have is a 4-bone rack, and what I do is cut them into chops.
And you're absolutely right. I can tell just by what you said. These are a little bit meatier than some of the kind of appetizer lamb chops that you'll have that are served here in Aspen. The Colorado lamb is a little bit more meat on the bone.
Right. So you can see the size of these chops. They're just huge.
Looking good. All right. So we've prepared them, and you said that stripping some of the meat off of the bone is called Frenching. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. It's a Frenched rack.
Okay.
Okay, and then I want to foil up the bones here so they don't get charred and break off on the grill.
All right, that's a great suggestion for those at home that are going to be grilling lamb on the grill. Foil the bones so they don't get charred.
Yes.
Something I didn't know.
Pull the foil off right before you serve them.
All right.
Okay. And then what we're going to do is blend up a marinade here.
And you said today is pomegranate, and once again, you know, with your expertise, you decided that pomegranate is very complementary to the meat itself. The sweetness, but also the acidity is going to help bring out the flavor of the lamb itself.
Exactly, and actually I did some research, and in Middle Eastern cooking, the association of pomegranate juice and lamb dates back almost 2,000 years.
Wow.
So let's go ahead and make this marinade. So we start out with 1 cup of pomegranate juice, which is readily available at any market these days.
Yep.
1 cup of extra virgin olive oil.
1 cup pomegranate, 1 cup olive oil, extra virgin.
1 tablespoon of honey.
1 tablespoon of honey in our marinade for a little bit of sweetness.
Yes, and it also will caramelize nicely on the grill.
Uh-huh.
Then I have 1 tablespoon of fresh mint.
And you've de-stemmed the big stems, but other than that, it's just the whole leaves?
Yep.
All right.
And 1 tablespoon of fresh garlic.
And this amount of marinade that you're making is suitable for the 4 chops that you're doing here? All right. And just give it...
blend it up. Then what I like to do, I like to have it in a container and keep the bones out of it so they don't get all messy.
So you've got something to work with clean while you're cooking them.
Exactly.
You're just letting that all blend together. Liquefy is the setting you put it on. That's a high setting.
And there we just, boom.
Just pour it in. How long do you let a marinade sit on meats like this?
In about 2 hours. This is fantastic.
2 hours is all you need. It's not an overnight marinade, just as you're preparing to get ready for grilling.
Right.
You can throw that on 2 hours before.
Right, and then you can, your guests show up, you can have a glass of wine, and when you're ready to eat, you pop them on the grill.
You're ready to go. All right, so we're gonna throw those on the grill now. Should we get them started, or?
Yes. So we have our grill nice and hot here.
We've had that already preheating. Now you always talk about the difference between grilling and barbecuing.
Yes, and grilling is, you know, done at a high temperature. So we'll sear the meats.
We're looking for a quick cook on the grill. And as you can see, for those of you at home that are watching, you can see that that high heat is on because that quick smoking that you get out of it says that, hey, this is a hot grill and we're going after it.
We're gonna sear it. And the only thing you wanna do last is a little bit of kosher salt. Help bring the flavor out a little bit.
Smells fantastic.
Of course, some fresh ground pepper.
So simple seasoning to finish it off on the grill. And we are going to take a quick break, and then when we come back in a little bit, actually Dennis Scholl is going to be joining us and joining Sari here, and then we're going to check back in with our lamb and with Jimmy Nadell from Conundrum Catering. Stay with us here on the Morning, Noon, and Night Show. We're cooking up a feast for you here on Plum TV. We are back on the Morning, Noon, and Night Show with Jimmy Nadell. We are finishing up our Colorado lamb chops, and so far we made a pomegranate marinade. Marinade for about 2 hours. We had a hot grill ready to go, and then we grilled up the lamb chops, as we can see there. You foiled the ends, for those that are joining us late, just so that they didn't char and burn and you had something clean to work with. How long do you recommend grilling a piece of meat that's that size?
It's about, you know, four minutes on each side.
So pretty quick.
Should take you there, yeah.
Pretty quick.
Yeah.
And now we are gonna plate it up, finish it off with a little bit of...
We have a pomegranate bordelaise, which is a whole nother show if we do that. It's just basically pomegranate juice, which I reduced down to a syrup and then added to a bordelaise-based sauce.
All right, well, let's get those going onto the plate. I wanted to let the folks at home know that Colorado lamb is not available just anywhere, and here in town or in the valley, you are recommending Epicurious or the Butcher's Block here in Aspen.
Right.
And when you go to your butcher and ask for Colorado lamb chops, you also want to ask them probably to clean it up a little bit for you, trim some of the fat, and maybe remove every other bone if you want to do these thicker chops like you do.
Exactly, exactly.
Right.
So at the Butcher Block, you can see Mike over there, or the Epicurious, Chris or Will, and just call them up, tell me what you want in advance, and when you show up, it's all ready to go for you.
Fantastic. Speaking of ready to go, I am ready for some Colorado lamb. Get it going, Jimmy.
Okay.
Once again, the company is Conundrum Catering. Jimmy is a very busy man, so if you are interested in having him take care of you and your friends, family, and loved ones, give him a call early to make sure you can get him because he is booked most of the time. And as always, you have poached or grilled up some fresh vegetables. How do you like to prepare these?
Well, I like to go to farmer's market in the summer and just see what looks really nice and fresh and interesting. And what I did was I blanched them lightly and then sauteed them lightly with a little olive oil.
So blanching is a quick boil and then cooling them off in a cold bath really quickly.
Exactly.
And then, as you said, a quick saute with a little bit of olive oil.
Then we always like to garnish a little bit.
Of course.
We grow all our own herbs here.
Presentation is a part of any great meal. The sense of sight needs to be involved. So you've got 2 chops. This actually looks like an entree serving portion.
Absolutely, it's an entree.
And like you said, 4 minutes to a side, quick grilling on the lamb chops. What are you looking for on the inside? Are you leaving lamb chops medium rare, like a pinkish in the middle?
Medium rare to medium is generally best.
All right. And of course, Jimmy Nadell loves to use the fresh flowers. Are these edible flowers?
Absolutely. Everything on the plate is always edible.
Everything on the plate, always edible. And I think last time you were here, some of these flowers had a little spice to them, right?
These are the nasturtiums, yes.
The nasturtiums have a little bit of kick to them, but they complement the food very well. Here we come with the pomegranate bordelaise.
Yes.
Ah, man, I'm speaking French here. Jimmy's got me speaking French, eating lamb chops in the morning, looking delicious, of course. And we want to point out to everybody out there that's watching, if you are interested in any of Jimmy's recipes that he prepares here on the show, on plumtv.com, you can catch up with all of these recipes. This one will be posted perhaps later today, but it will be on the website very soon. So this one as well, you can get all the details of what you've seen here on the show on the website. That's plumtv.com. And of course,
dinner for two.
Dinner for two. Jimmy Nadell from Conundrum Catering, everybody. I am going to set my teeth into one of these lamb chops as we're going out, all right? All right. Guys, this is Conundrum Catering. Jimmy, thank you again. We always love having you on the show.
My pleasure.
You are a fantastic chef and a wonderful person here on Plum TV. All right, guys, we'll be back in just a little bit. We're going to take a break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.